Lloyd. I'm from Portsmouth in the south coast of England, and I'm a skateboarder and a shop owner. What is Slam City? It's a home for many people. It's a place where anyone can come, feel welcomed into the skate community. I think for the most part, it's just about sharing skateboarding with other people. I think for that young person that's never been in the store before, to be able to have the opportunity to walk into somewhere with members of staff that have over like 50 years of experience collectively, doing the act of skateboarding, but also working in the industry is invaluable. A place that's existed for almost 40 years that needs to continue to exist for another 40 years, I think. But not just Slam, every skate shop in the country, in the world deserves a place in skateboarding and its community. So I think that answer isn't just about Slam, it's about skate shops in general.
I think what Slam means for me is definitely kind of like a second home. For this, we've been there for so long, and I was at a period recently where I was like having to kind of feel like I was making big life decisions, and I was like, do I leave for other stuff? Because I thought different priorities. You can kind of, brightening a kid's day with selling their first skateboard, doesn't ever get old, despite how many I've sold. There's something so really pure.
So my journey sort of started through given the opportunity to be involved in Slam in May 23, 15th of May. I remember that date. I was given the opportunity to come in and basically be a part of the team to take over the store. My part is to be at the store, do the events, all that type of thing. It was like one of the best opportunities I've ever been presented with. Slam's always been a store that I've always, looked up to over the years. I used to run a skate shop in my hometown for 10 years, store manager there. And Slam was something I've always kind of looked at and been like, I want our store back in my hometown to be like Slam. So to get the opportunity to actually be here and be a part of it and be a co-owner of it is a dream. And I think if you told the 15-year-old me that's what I'd be doing at 35, and the 25-year-old me when I was managing the store, that's what I'd be doing in 10 years, I would be like, that's a lie, and that's never going to happen. But here I am, and I feel very, very, very blessed to be here.
Yeah, I met him through kind of this default 8 years, I'd say, because I'm 26 in November, and then I started when I was 18. So yeah, crazy. Almost a decade.
So the store opened in 1986. So Slam started in Talbot Road in Notting Hill. It started in the basement of Rough Trade Records. So from what I can understand, the founder of Slam and the founder of Rough Trade were friends or knew each other, and Rough Trade had a space in the basement. So Slam started in the basement of Rough Trade Records, and then later on Slam began to grow. Rough Trade had been open 10 years prior to that, and Rough Trade Records then opened up another location in the basement of Slam. So they kind of flipped, and that was in Covent Garden, which is the one that everyone kind of remembers. I think from the age of 14, when I kind of started properly skating, going out on my own and going out with friends, it was quite small. There was just especially where I'm from anyway, but there was a crew of at least 10 or 15 young lads skating about, and then there was an older crew, and that was it. I think at the moment skateboarding is at a really good place. So I think we're right at a point right now where it's kind of gone like this, and then we're kind of we're still climbing, but we're not rocketing, right? But I'm seeing it on a business point of a lot of skateboards being sold.
That's how's the skateboarding scene changed in London is a big question in a sense. I mean, it's changed. I guess for London, specifically, it's gotten bigger and more popular. Skateboarding always kind of rise and falls in trends. It's definitely gotten better. Skate spots will always come and go. That's just a natural element of like the city and any kind of city in the world, like you'll have spots will kind of have their popularity and then they'll get busted or like capped.
I think that the community will grow. It's way more accepted across genders. Me, from a very young age, I didn't really conform to like sports, team sports in particular. And I think I was a bit like, oh, I don't really like playing in a team with people. Wasn't very good at it, to be honest. So I was like, oh, I don't know, I was kind of always into other things. And then the Tony Hawk Pro Skater game came out and I was locked into that. And then I bought a skateboard. I got my granddad to buy me my first skateboard.
My dad taught me to skateboard. I can remember getting my first board when I was 8 years old, and it was a special Element Featherlight deck, which was really cool. And then it kind of just sparked. There was something about, I guess, the challenges, and the fact that felt like a very family-orientated activity, which for most people it isn't. So I kind of picked up the board, got more into it, and then my dad would take me skateboarding and then my 2 brothers, and it just got bigger and bigger in a sense.
And yeah, I guess after that, I met all my best friends from skateboarding. It was just like, oh, there's other people that do this, and this is like before social media. So it was kind of like just going to the park or going to skate park or seeing another kid or someone else with a skateboard and be like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one that does it. And then from there, yeah, I guess it kind of means everything to me after that, because I met so many different people that I'd never met before through skateboarding. I really like skating streets, but the skating I like is like ramp skating, which I'm terrible at. It kept me out of a lot of trouble. Skating definitely helped me travel the world, go a lot of places I probably wouldn't have gone. I think the people that I met along the way, traveling and stuff like that, I never would have experienced the things that I experienced if I didn't skateboard. Like, I went to Barcelona, I met a guy at a skate spot, we've been friends ever since. I flew back to England, he was from Guernsey, but he lived out there, and he was like, I was like, oh, I want to come back, like I'll come back like in like the next couple of months. And he's like, yeah man, you should stay on my sofa. I'd met him once, you know. And then like we've been mates ever since. He lives in London now, we hang out all the time. I went to his wedding like last month. But like, I would have never experienced that if I didn't have a skateboard. I don't think there's anything in the world that you can just be like, hey, you do the thing that I do, we're now friends. Do you know what I mean? And like, his music taste is so different to my music taste, but like, we're the best of friends. So I think it's played a big role in like my friend group. I think it's played a big role in the way I think about things.
I've got lots of inspirations. I think, like I said, definitely my parents are big inspirations for me. My dad taught me to skateboard, and then my mum's an artist as well, and she taught me and inspired me to be an artist and kind of endeavor in these creative inspirations. And then skateboarding wise, like the list is kind of not endless, but there's, you know, key figures that kind of change as you kind of there's lots of key figures that change as you kind of become more and more as you get older. So when I was younger, there was like a friend called George Toland who made all these videos that inspired me to then make all of my videos. And then there was other brands, like kind of other crews which were local or bigger, and they inspired me to screen print and make more t-shirts, and then inspired me to make my own crew and kind of make my own videos.
I think maybe just like okay, so I think here, being responsible for something, or partly responsible for something that means so much to so many people, and the staff, the people that buy stuff from us, but the people that have been involved in Slam over the years, but also for me, I think that carries quite a lot of weight. So I have a lot of, I have a bit of imposter syndrome with like, you know, why am I, like, you know, I'm here doing this, and I'm partly in control of how Slam is perceived in the world, or, you know, in the local community. So I think that brings like a lot of weight and a lot of pressure, but I really enjoy it. But there are definitely days where I'm like, God, this is a lot, you know, this is really stressful. And you know, I find it, you know, really rewarding, and then other days I find it, you know, really, really tough, and I'm like, wow, like this today was pretty hard. But then, you know, on the plus side, then great things happen, like with, you know, the Mike Carroll thing, and then I'm walking to train station, like can't stop smiling, going, oh my God, like you forget about all the bad days where you're stressed about, you know, anything could happen. You know, we have days where we like everything goes wrong, like the toilet breaks, and then a delivery doesn't show up, and or like, you know, our delivery man doesn't pick up our online orders, or the till stops working. It all happens in one day. Like that's, you know, that's you get days like that where I'm like, oh God, like I can't wait for the day to be over. But yeah, I think just generally just being in control of something like this, you know, brings a lot of weight, because it means a lot to people, and I don't want anyone to think badly of what the store is, or what it's becoming, or what it's going to be, if that makes sense. Because it's had years and years and years of people working so hard at it, and it's a high bar that we need to stick to and exceed. So I think, yeah, it just comes with a lot of pressure and personal battles with myself to make it work. Who's my idol? That's a tough one. Okay, who's my idol in skateboarding? I would say there was a skateboarder that sadly passed away called Dylan Reeder. He was someone I looked up to. He was slightly older than me, and he sadly passed away due to cancer. I think it's almost 10 years ago now, maybe coming up to. But he was one of these skateboarders that basically dressed differently. So like when everyone was kind of in the baggy clothes, he was in like the tight fit. He was very like fashion. Like he'd be like skating with like sunglasses on his head, with like his hair slicked back. He'd be doing like these crazy tricks that like most people weren't really doing. He just stood out from the crowd, and I just thought that was quite cool thing. He was just, yeah, he just basically stood out, and I was like, I think overnight I like saw a video of him skating, and I was just like, right, I'm wearing black jeans and a white t-shirt, and I'm gonna like stretch the neck out a bit, because I'm gonna like cut a hole in the back, because he'd like be skating in t-shirts that had holes in from obviously him falling over. But I was just like, oh, I'll just like cut the sleeve. Do you know what I mean? It was like I almost tried to emulate him, and that sounds really silly, but I was also quite young at the time, so I was just like, and then I like rocked up to the skate park, and everyone was like, you've just completely changed your like dress sense. And I'm like, yeah, Dylan Reeder is amazing. Do you know what I mean? They're like, who? Do you know what I mean? And then it's like, watch this. Yeah. So yeah, he was like my idol. And I think, but the funny thing is that the more people I talk to in my age group, they say the same thing. They're like, overnight I went from baggy jeans to like tight fitting Dickies with them rolled up with white socks. Like, do you know what I mean? That was his style. It was like black jeans, white socks, rolled up jeans, white t-shirt. Like, yeah, that was just like that. He was my idol. He still is. I don't dress anything like him now. For a short amount of time, that's how I dressed.